Hey everyone, it is the 14th of March 2023, and we are on World Scrutiny call number 12. We try to keep it fun. We have Leo here and we have Ed also from the team. And we also have three students from Summer of Bitcoin, which is also really nice. They're here to join the call and to learn and to contribute in any way that they can. Leo, is there anything that you would like to discuss during the call?
Well, I just came back from some holiday and I did some review stuff, which brought up some new issues. And to avoid fighting over details because of it's always the problem that we try to categorize stuff. So we have like boxes we put the products in, and then there is products that don't fit into any box, and where we have to find the right wording
Mhm.
to not judge them wrong or do them wrong. And there's a new box that came up maybe, or I don't know if we can put it into another box, but it's quite technical, and I'm discussing this with Emmanuel already. It's about closed source, open source, can't be compiled. And in this case, it is that you need to be a business partner, basically of MasterCard or something like that, to get access to the source code or to the library to
Okay.
compile it. So I can't compile it. And should I rate it as no, it cannot be compiled, or is it even closed source? But I'm not sure if that is a design question. That's a wording question. Like, how can we be less conflictive? Like in the past, I ran into issues with calling products closed source or custodial because they didn't check all the boxes, and that got the project some heat. And yeah, that's always a concern. But on the design issues, on the latest Figma updates, I don't have much feedback right now. I did the feedback here in the what's it called, in the Discord.
Cool. And you, Ed, do you have anything you'd like to discuss?
No, just that I've been rolling out little changes to the design. Well, updates according to the Figma file, but it didn't. The build is failing on Cloudflare, so I'll probably just build it locally and throw it up on web server. But I mean, if you pull down my latest branch, you'll see it. But that's all a bit cumbersome. So yeah, I'll just get that up. That's all I have to say on it. Still working on it.
I upgraded some dependencies, so maybe the node version and stuff needs to be adjusted. And if you show me the error that you're getting, maybe I can fix it.
Okay, yeah, I'll make a note of where it fails in the log, and I'll send you, see if it makes sense to you. Thanks.
Yeah, I thought it would be cool to maybe discuss a little bit about the homepage because that's the design that we're going to be moving on to next. I thought it was really smart of Christoph. As I said, it's possible that he's not able to join this call, but it was really smart that he kind of focused on the wallet review designs first. And now we kind of have that fairly wrapped up, and now we can move towards the actual homepage design. So I really started to think about what can I do with you guys in this call? What can we discuss that can facilitate him moving forward the design process of the homepage? So I thought of a few ideas from the UX research that we conducted. Trust was a big thing. Establishing trust on the homepage is a big thing for people. And I was trying to understand the psychology of trust and how we can actually build this on the homepage of Wallet Scrutiny. So I'd like to have a little bit of a discussion around the homepage, um, also around how you guys view Wallet Scrutiny, how you would like people to perceive Wallet Scrutiny. So have a little bit of a discussion around that, so that whatever we design on the homepage really feels good to you guys as a team. Um, so yeah, I let me share my screen a bit here. Let me see. Let me share my window. Here we go. I don't know if this is my screen visible at the moment?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So for the
Yep.
let me give
It
the
is.
I give the students a little bit of a background. So Wallet Scrutiny is a website. I don't know if Leo wants to give a little bit of an introduction about what you guys do. The current website, this is the current website here. It's for some reason it is zoomed out. So this is the current website. Leo, maybe you'd like to give a little bit of introduction so that the students have an idea of the whole ethos and purpose of the website and what you guys do.
Okay, so Wild Scrutiny was born from my concern about Bitcoin wallets. So I'm a wallet developer myself. I worked 5 years for a rather big Android wallet, and when I joined their project, they did not have binary transparency for their builds. So I could have released a version that would have emptied all the users' wallets, and I didn't want that for myself because it would put me into the situation that somebody could force me to do such a change, and that would put myself and my family at risk. And I didn't want that for the broader ecosystem, that many of those wallets and many of the funds of users depend on some release manager that can at will, at any point in time, empty all the wallets of all the users of that product. And so I started a little side project called Wall Scrutiny. In the beginning, it was 40 products, all Android. And um, and I analyzed them and put them into categories. Like most of them are custodial. Here you're scrolling through. Like if you scroll a bit down, there is the main categories with reproducible ones are at the top, and lower ones are okay, they're open source, but we don't know if what is on Google Play or what people download is actually corresponding to the open source code, or they are even closed source or custodial. And there are worse categories than custodial, where you don't even create bitcoins, whereby the providers admission they don't have the bitcoins that you can trade. You can kind of trade on an index there. And yeah, but my main focus is to get more wallets to be reproducible and make the users of those wallets actually be their own bank.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, nice introduction. So the community is in a collaboration with Wallet Scrutiny, and together we're just going through this redesign process for this wallet to really make the brand, really make them shine, and really make the website more open to be used by more people. We want more people to use the website, more people to read the reviews. They want more people to contribute to reviews as well, particularly wallet developers. So that's some of the goals of this redesign process, really to make it more usable, but also to encourage more people, more developers to contribute to the website, contribute reviews as well. So this Figma file here, we've been going through this design process. This is the design of Christoph. It's a design idea. And we're kind of working with this at the moment. This is already in the main Figma file. Um, And yeah, so I kind of thought about a little bit of a discussion around the homepage today. Um, some of the discussion I'd like to have is maybe just a little bit around how you guys as a team, how would you really describe wallet scrutiny? How would you really, I don't like to use the word brand, but how would you describe it? Is it some? Would you say it's more friendly, more formal, more quirky, more conventional? And the reason for doing this exercise is I'd love this main homepage to really reflect you as a team and what you stand for, because it's really the face of the brand, face of the project when people land on the homepage. Um, so yeah, just I have a little bit of an exercise here, which I thought about. I will delete this one here. There's some words over here: friendly, formal, quirky, conventional, modern, classic, fun, functional, inclusive, exclusive, warm, cool, innovative, and familiar. And with these, we can get a little bit of insight from you as a team, what feels good for you. Then we can guide the direction of the design to something that feels good for everyone. Um, so yeah, are there any of these words that really stick out for you, that really feel like, this is really us, and this is what we stand for? Or maybe there's some words here that are not on this list that really you really feel are important, that should come across in the homepage.
I I think that Wallet Scrutiny is trying to be, or as Wallet Scrutiny is categorizing other products, we ourselves are also subject to scrutiny. So there are projects that don't like how we categorize them,
Mm-hmm,
and they try to dismiss us and to try to attack us by every possible angle.
mm-hmm,
And that's why I try to be formal and not friendly. Maybe friendly would be more helpful. I don't know. I
mm-hmm,
certainly try to not be quirky at all. So um, I don't know if modern or classic. Fun is certainly not a goal of the project. It's
mm-hmm,
functional. I don't know what you mean by inclusive or exclusive. We certainly, I don't know. Maybe you can explain what you are aiming for here.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and people can have very different definitions of this. I don't know. For me, I see inclusive as being, it's very much for everyone. It has maybe of a wider audience, and exclusive being that it's more for a very smaller, more specific audience.
Yeah, the goal is to protect the ecosystem, the Bitcoin ecosystem,
Mm-hmm,
against systemic events.
mm-hmm,
So we had events like Mount Gox or Insta Wallet back in the time that you certainly might not remember,
mm-hmm,
that had that shook the confidence in the tools that we use,
mm-hmm,
because suddenly a lot of money disappeared and people blamed Bitcoin for that. And so I I don't care if it's inclusive or exclusive.
okay.
I care about the tools. It's like I don't know by which angle we can get the tool providers to provide a better product. So it might be good to be inclusive so that if everybody cares,
Mm-hmm,
then also the tool developers should care.
mm-hmm,
Or if we can get exclusive and say, okay, we only care about the wallet providers,
mm-hmm,
then yeah, the page could also be very exclusive to them, so that maybe the one wallet cares about how they stack up against the other wallet and use that then in their own communication, and the people don't, like the common people might not primarily use wallet scrutiny for that. But I think we need a more inclusive scope
mm-hmm,
to to have the user care and push the developers, and it doesn't work the other way around.
mm-hmm,
The providers don't care if if the users don't care.
Okay.
Warm, cool, I don't know. Uh, Probably cool.
Mm-hmm.
And innovative, I don't know. I mean, this is certainly something that looks very innovative for some even wallet developers,
Mm-hmm.
but it's kind of conservative. Like we just want to make sure that things are straight and nothing funny is happening inside those wallets. And so I don't know if familiar is the right term
I
to
wrote the word
distinguish here
conservative.
from
I wrote the word your
conservative. Yeah.
conservative. That's the word. And are there any of these words that you feel, I've got this list of words here. Are there any? Is there anything in terms of values that's really important to you guys? Something they say this in. Is there something that you would stand on a hill for because it's really a strong value concept, or something that is something that the team really believes in? Like honesty, transparency, like these kinds of.
Transparency is for me the most important
Mhm,
aspect here because it's it it destroys all the trust if people doubt our transparency. And so our reviews are all held in a way that other people, mildly technical people, can verify them. So
mhm,
we don't just give a verdict. We always justify and defend our verdicts.
mhm,
So then, of course, there is those cases where the wallet providers disagree with our verdict, but it's normally just the wallet provider and not other wallet providers don't jump to help them. So it's usually just the one wallet provider doesn't like that we list them at all. Like we even had people sue us over use of their brand name on our page and what's it called in English, cease and desist. And we had to remove a wallet listing for that reason because else our provider would have switched off wallet scrutiny. And I
wow.
think I should review if we put that wallet product on again because I mean they don't deserve to not be listed. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are there any, in terms of you visit other websites, you visit other applications, are there any applications or websites that you visit that you really look up to, or that you like it? You really like how the website looks, how it feels, um, yeah, that kind of thing. Anything comes to mind?
I mean nothing in that sector. Like there is no other project that looks at the version to version transparency of products. Like there is no other project that tries to keep the products accountable. Like that, there is other websites, of course, that look nice and where you can filter. And I would love to have filters for features. Like users don't just want a Bitcoin wallet; they want to build Bitcoin Lightning wallet, and so they
Mhm.
might want to just remove from their view anything that does have no Lightning. Yeah. And so for these things, I remember some websites that I loved for Android devices where you could
Mhm.
click the screen size and then the picture of 40 phones would change into another picture of another 30 phones that fit your new criteria. And I have to look if this website still exists, but I loved it because you had like multiple filters and it still worked nicely. And um, my plan is also to add more features to the listings, but it's just too much work and it's not worth it to describe features of products that we disqualify. Like I don't want to list if a custodial exchange supports Lightning when that's not the focus of the website. But if we can have it kind of self-service then I wouldn't mind if this information was there and would drive more users to the website. But I think it's not worth our time to go through 4,000 products and check if they have Lightning or if they support LN URL or a Lightning address or Taproot or whatever. Yeah, like there's a million features that you could check for, and times 4,000 products, it's just a lot of work. And there's other products that I would rather care to get onto the platform. And for those that are new to the project, desktop wallets are very much missing. So it's just nice to have a Google Play Store because there's the list of all the apps. Those are wallets. I can add them. I can reference them because the source of what people install is the Android Play Store. There's other stores like Amazon or something, but Google Play Store has 100 times more users. So I can just dismiss the Amazon store because it's 1% of the problem. And I focus on the Google Play Store, and there is the Android products, and I ignore the rest. But that's because Google claims to have that many users for that certain product, but I don't have such numbers for desktop wallets.
Mm-hmm.
With desktop wallets, people download it directly from some website. The website doesn't even know how many people downloaded it, or is it the same guy that downloaded it over and over again, or um, what is the metric by which I would just judge which wallet is even relevant to look deeper into, and by why would I do it in a certain order? And we had the same problem with the hardware wallets. But with hardware wallets, at least the software that runs on those is always the same. But with desktop, there is Mac, there's Windows, there's Linux, there's uh, different. Like there's 30 flavors of Linux, and every one of those has a different binary that they download, and there's different distributors that assign the binary to the deliver for the delivery to the certain platform.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just an explosion of complexity when looking into desktop, and that's the bad side about desktop. The good side of desktop is that many of the products there care about reproducibility. Yeah. So famously, Bitcoin Core is spearheading the reproducibility. Like they do it the most rigorously.
Yeah.
But then on their website, they suggest you can install it this, and this way. And I have no idea how all of those ways are kind of the same in terms of reproducibility. So if you want a reproducible build there, then you have to download the zip file and check the signature, and then
Mm-hmm.
you know that other people attested to the reproducibility, and then you know you have a reproducible or you have the correct binary. And but if you install it by other ways, I would have to analyze how these other ways work. Yeah, and I know, for example, that what's it called? It's basically installing a virtual machine in your computer, which no way can be reproducible. But I have no idea how the attack vectors would look there. And so to tackle the desktop, I would have to do a lot of research on on the basic distribution mechanisms of the software.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but I'm getting far off your topic maybe here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if there's, if there's anything, if there's any, even like a non-Bitcoin or Lightning related um, brand or project or website that you've come across, that you really, you land on it, you said, yeah, this is really nice. I really like this now. Anything that comes to mind at all?
Uh, I guess I would have to uh, tell you later. I would have
Look it up.
to
Yeah.
review. Yeah, uh, nothing comes to mind like right there. But
Okay.
yeah, I like it clean and simple, and when there's complexity, it's there is projects that are
Mhm.
better at filtering stuff, but we don't even have the data to filter by. So
Yeah.
for now, we filter by the verdict and platform, and that's it. So yeah,
And
I like how Ed did it with Scrutiny. I really
mhm,
like the design he did there, but I see that Christoph's is maybe more accessible for most users,
mhm.
especially with individual reviews showing what failed, what succeeded, etc.
And how would you like people to feel when they land on the homepage? What kind of feeling would you like them to feel?
I hope they get more respect for the issues at hand,
Mm-hmm.
but I often hear that people say, "Oh, I was at your website, and now I feel like I shouldn't be using Bitcoin because it's just all too scary." Or
Mm-hmm.
I get that reaction from when I'm on podcasts, for example, that the interviewer is often like, "Oh my God, and what can we do about it?" Or that looks really grim. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And but that's how I feel about the ecosystem.
Yeah.
I would wish that the developers would care more about it to bring to focus more on the good players that are really transparent
Mm-hmm.
and to find solutions how to actually review code, because we don't review code, we only check if reviewing code is even worth it.
Mm-hmm. And then the last one here I have is just a little bit, this is a little bit of fun here. This is, there's a psychology of color when someone lands on the homepage of a website. So different colors psychologically make people feel different things. Now, whether this is really true or not, it stands to be debated. But, different projects and brands have different colors, and different colors can make someone feel a certain way. For example, red is more strength. Orange tends to be more playful. White and black tend to be more sincere, pure, clean. Black is something that represents more color. Is there anything that's really sort of, are you drawn to any of these colors in particular, or feel good about any of these colors?
I like the black and white
Mm-hmm.
coloring, but if it helps to make the website a bit more playful without then I would rather have the color signal more warmth, more to give it a more inviting tone
Mm,
than to change the copy to be playful and funny, because I think playful and funny writing is just it just is makes it more dangerous to not be taken seriously.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So something that just feels a little bit more warm and inviting. Okay. Okay.
I don't know. I like the clean black and white, but whatever drives more users to care about the topic.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay. I have
Ed
some.
should comment on those things.
Yeah, Ed, we want some comments from you as well, please.
Well, I know we've been moving to a sort in terms of color representing the different verdicts. I know we're moving away from that, and
Mm-hmm,
I thought the look was getting really smart. Just black and white. And
mm-hmm,
Christoph, I thought, was cleverly using our iconic green
mm-hmm.
here and there. I really thought we were heading in a nice direction. I see
Yeah.
you have green there, a few keywords for green. None of which Leo actually mentioned we're aiming for exactly, but I mean it's a nice green. You can't deny it's pleasant, and it makes the website feel nice and I suppose I don't know, maybe polished
Yeah.
or just carefully considered. It's I thought Christoph was doing really nicely with with the way he was using green in the design. So
So you really like how he's kind of added in that green there into the
I don't like those particularly, but uh,
okay.
the bits you had on focus there just now. But like the way he used green on the new review page.
Mm-hmm.
I know there actually is quite a lot of green text in there, but it I thought it looked quite modern and clean despite
Mm-hmm.
being colorful.
Yeah,
But I'm for less color. I like the direction we're going in with
yeah.
much more black and white. I think it looks quite chic.
All right. Okay, cool. Now I have something that I'm going to introduce. It's interesting for the students. So we conducted some user research on the website. We conducted usability tests, and what I tend to do is, because I fall more on the research side of things, I tend to do sketches on my iPad when before to try to ideate and think of ideas and think of how things would look. So my sketches are very messy. So brace yourself. But I did a little bit of sketching before this call, and it is a sketch that's done by hand on an iPad. But I was trying to ideate on ideas of how to bring more trust onto the homepage and how that would look and feel possibly in the design. Now, Christoph is the designer, so he's probably going to look at this and come up with some other ideas. But I came up with something initial that I'd love to share with you guys. I'm just going to pull it in here. As I said, it's very messy. It's definitely still based on the okay, so I'll give a little bit of just before our call, I was trying to understand a little bit of the psychology um, behind establishing trust. What I read or what I could Google came up with the following: that we establish trust with the design as well as with the copy on the website. So there's these two things that help us to establish trust. We also establish trust using contact information, making that really clear and visible that it's easy to contact the team. And showing the people behind the project also establishes trust because it gives that really human element. Also, external validation, the bottom of the website, any contact information, as well as something like a logo or something like most of some of the bigger projects have very nice, simple logos. So I played around with that. As I said, things are really messy over here, but I sketched on my iPad and I came up with some ideas. This is essentially Christoph's design, what he has at the moment. He has the wallet scrutiny, he has the search over here. Let me move his one. I built my sketch off what he's already created. And I tried to, let me just move this one over here. I tried to fill in so as you can see, I kept to what he did here. He has basically, let me just open it up here. He has basically the wallet scrutiny, he has the searching for wallets, and then he has about methodology. The dark and light, I was just curious if you guys would still like to have that dark and light option. Just gonna put some sticky notes here. If you guys would still like to have that dark and light functionality, being able to switch.
Well, I would. I mean, I know initially no one asked for it, and I just built it. But I kind of, I, I like the dark mode. It's easy on my eyes.
Yeah.
So even if I have to make it just for me again, I probably still will.
Okay. How do you feel about that, Leo?
I wouldn't mind having it. So if Ed implements it, I would certainly add it to the public page.
Okay.
Because I mean, I don't know if it is fun or if there's actually people serious about this, but there's those dark screen maximalists and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's sometimes a topic like, oh, you don't even have dark mode. So
And
if it can be done, yeah, I'd like to have it.
forgive my drawing here. This is literally with my hand on an iPad. But so this is Christoph's here, and then again he has over here the 8 matching reviews. I had a little bit of an idea of something that you guys wanted more of is inviting people to actually review wallets and inviting them to do that because you want more of these developers. So I was thinking it might be an idea to have that on the homepage to really get people to do more of that. Because right now they would have the option of doing that only if they click here. But again, I said this is just an idea. It would be a second call to action on the homepage. I'm just not sure how those two would link up though, because at the moment they can review on the actual wallet page itself. So there's an option to click off and review on the wallet review page itself. So I'm curious about Christoph's thoughts on this one. What are your thoughts of having a call to action with regards to reviewing the wallet on the homepage?
We could try it out, but I am not very hopeful that it will help.
Yeah.
Um, I was thinking about having those. So there's some wallets that care about their own review, and I thought about maybe getting them to review another product and then get kind of points to getting a priority to be reviewed next. So maybe if you say, oh, review a wallet,
Hmm.
we could put like, could you check if this wallet is still correctly classified, and put some that needs an updated review in, like, name one specific product, like, hey, they released a new binary, is that still the correct verdict, or hey, this one is still not reviewed, could you provide us with a review? That would be a more concrete call to action, because review of wallet is so open-ended that people that even people that feel capable to do that wouldn't necessarily know where to start.
Okay. So something a bit more specific other than just review a wallet. Okay, cool. So curious about Crystal's thoughts on that one. It was just an idea because I know you guys really want to get those reviews in. Um, Once again, I kept again with this one over here. This is the text from the copy guy. Not everyone is a developer. I kept it there. I thought it would might be an idea to talk not as extensively, but mention maybe something about the review process without going into your actual review process, which is really in depth. But I felt that maybe that would create a little bit of trust for people, so that they know that you guys really have a specific process that you follow, and it's not just anything that's happening. It's quite a rigorous process. So this was another idea of how to establish trust with people. um, I'm
I
not
like that.
really.
I
Mhm.
like that as a section for the homepage.
Yeah.
A trio, if we can condense it into sort of three primary steps.
Yeah.
That's just my thought on a would be user. It'd be nice to see a condensed idea of how wallet scrutiny decides to stick a verdict on things, basically for a layperson to
Hmm.
or a non-technical person to just get a grasp of, at least know that something technical is going on under the bonnet, and the result is the verdict, something along those lines. So I like that idea of an element.
Yeah, really short, sweet, to the point. I mean, the wording here will be really tricky. I know Christoph broke it up a little bit in one of his designs. I don't have it here, but he broke it up a bit into these three categories. I remember we had that on the last call: is how the wallet's made, how it works, and how it works with your device. Um, I don't quite know if this is the right wording, but maybe we could explore that.
Yeah, probably not quite,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
but the idea of a sort of a trio of um, just a tidbit of what's going on here.
Mhm. And of course, that's not what you guys do because when they click methodology, then they're really going to go into the meat of it because this is a very, very high level overview, would be. Um, and then I thought about having something about the team here. Um, don't need to have this, but people like to see humans. They like to see the people, the faces behind. I know that Leo said, there's a lot of people in the project, and they're, some are contributors, some are less permanent contributors. So I had a little bit of idea to show some faces maybe on the homepage to also establish some trust, and then give them the option of going to the back to the about page, to see further. But yeah, just ideas. Happy to hear your thoughts on these.
So I presume those faces would be the people running the analyses and writing things. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I know that Emmanuel would not be happy to have his actual photo on the website.
Mhm.
I'm running around with a comic picture as my avatar everywhere. Maybe I should also change that for Wild Scrutiny. And other people, well, Danny does the bulk of the not so technical review, so he would be happy to put his face on, I think. But so my face and his face, that looks a bit not so much. And if Emmanuel wants to, or if he agrees to have a non-photo and his name mentioned, I think that would work. Maybe even would agree to have a photo there. Then we would get to 3 reviewers there.
But then
That
one wall.
looks not very solid neither.
Yeah. I mean, I think
Well,
this is to be explored. It depends on how the look and the feel comes across, because you have to feel.
Emmanuel,
Mm-hmm.
Emmanuel is his name.
Emmanuel, Emmanuel, Emmanuel.
Yeah, I think in the
Yeah.
Bitcoin space, it's common to not have your actual photograph anyway. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And the trustworthiness of all scrutiny doesn't derive from its authors.
Yeah.
That's a common attack vector. As I told that I had been a wallet developer for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
One, or like the samurai team, the team, like the one guy who is very active and rude on social media,
Yeah.
is always attacking Wallet Scrutiny for being a tool to promote the wallet that I worked for before.
Mm-hmm.
So they discredit Wallet Scrutiny based on me having worked on a wallet before. Well,
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Thanks for your feedback. Christoph, as I say, is the creative genius. So he's probably going to look at this and have some other ideas. But at least we have a little bit of something for him to work with, and
so the
continue.
tagline, the tagline on the above the fold area is now "Know your wallet like you built it."
Yeah, it's this is from the copy guy. Know your wallet like you built it. Wallet scrutiny helps everyday Bitcoin users verify whether or not their wallet is truly open source and secure. Enter your wallet's name to get started. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
he's pretty cool. He's pretty good with copy. Not
the
everyone is a developer. Not everyone has to be. And then
the
this.
word
Mhm.
the word open source is not correct. We don't care about the license, and open source implies an OSI approved license, which we don't require for the top verdict.
Mhm.
Public source is what I use usually.
Okay.
Which one of the is that on one of Christoph's Figma pages? I could start playing around with some of that on the on.
Yeah,
Are we using the dog?
no, no, no. That's fully. Oh no, that's not
Oh,
concluded. No, not at all.
oh,
It's
good, good.
very much open to discussion. But I think as a point moving forward is, we have all of these questions that you guys have now answered. You've chosen some words that you feel describes the brand. Leo mentioned transparency as being a very strong value. I think we can come up with a visual based on these values, and these words that you guys have shared with us. Um, that's kind of the idea that I have in mind. Come up with a visual that's feel that that's in line with these ones over here. And the visual would also be, we're looking for black and white, we're looking for warm, inviting tones and colors, maybe a hint of green. So trying to pull the visual around these words that you guys have shared with us.
I mean,
Um,
effectively, we're like a directory. How do you what sort of words come to mind for a directory?
mm,
Organized. We should look inviting and approachable. That's about it. It should.
yeah, inviting and approachable. I'll add it in here as well. Is that you? Yeah, I'll add it in here.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
If someone stumbled upon us and they weren't looking for a particular wallet, they should at least feel, oh, I'd like to try this tool out and search for a wallet that I know, just I can see where to do all those things, and I just feel like I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
Should be inviting for that.
Cool. I will stop. Let me be careful here with Jitsi because it might kick me off. Cool. I stopped sharing my screen. No, thanks for that, guys. Anwar made a comment here: testimonials and reviews for trust. It's a very good point. And that's the thing that they're trying to incorporate are getting those external reviews showing on those wallet review pages. I haven't shared that design during this call, but it's part of the integration of having external reviews on the wallets, aside from the reviews from the wallet scrutiny team as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Does anyone have anything to add or anything? No?
No,
Nope.
I
Nope.
see it looking great and eager to see it materialize.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what comes up out of this conversation. We have something loose to work with, and we can move forward now based on the feedback from you guys. So thanks everyone for joining the call. I will stop the recording.
Thank you.
Yes.
Let me stop the recording. I actually remembered.